Uh, I'm I am kind of bored, and I don't know what I should do other than maybe live stream. So here I am, and I was thinking, what do I really want to live stream about? And to be honest, I don't have a lot of topics in mind at this moment, because it's already past 12, and my mind is not active at all. Then you may ask, why am I live streaming in the first place? Well, the simple answer for that is edibles. I took edible earlier today, and I've been just sort of thinking about random things, and I felt like whenever I take edible, I feel more creative in a way. And what's better than live stream, right? Um, and In order to make it more meaningful, I guess I am gonna just start talking about random things but not just random, meaning like you know things which come in my mind per se, but random meaning randomly picked topics on the internet. And what's best than starting from one of the most known website, which is Wikipedia. So Wikipedia is definitely one of the interesting concept, right? It's a free content, and anyone can edit it. Uh, at the same time, it's community based, so more and more people could collaborate together to write these articles. And although I don't blindly just believe everything on Wikipedia, because it's not necessarily written by I would say polished you know journalist to a degree, because everything you're writing on Wikipedia need to be validated. So I bet like the people who are writing different pages, they themselves are dependent on the other sources. So depending on the what source or which source they use, their writing style could be different, the content of the page could be completely different. And that's why I just refer to Wikipedia every now and then to understand the concepts or the general aspect of it, while being aware that there are a lot of biases embedded within every page, because it's uh, sort of written by human, and I'm sure at some point AIs will be advanced enough to be able to just curate a lot of these things. And I kind of wonder if AIs start curating different articles, I'm if they would know which article is true versus which isn't. I mean, they would obviously compare, say, one article with similar headlines or similar content on other media sources. And then based on that, maybe they're gonna the AI gonna come to a conclusion about the probability of the authenticity of the content. Who knows? It's gonna be interesting for sure, because we are living in a timeline where any information could be modified, could be just bent around to make sense, or to fit into a specific narration. So I wouldn't be surprised if the future AIs or the future bots, or even the bots we have right now for, say, other media like Twitter, um, comes with a specific biases. So everything have its own, I guess, like lens with which it's gonna be displaying. Um, with that note, let's get into some random pages. And I just noticed that there is this option called random articles. So let's start with that. Okay, so Florence Bagley. Oh, So, Florence Bagley was an American psychologist. Okay. So, what have you done, Bagley, in the field of psychology occurred during her time at University of Nebraska and Cornell University. That's pretty prestigious universities. Where the aesthetics of color. That's super interesting. She investigated the optical illusion of color appearing to the viewer when a disc with. Okay. So I started fostering a cat, and it feels like she needs me. So I guess I'm just gonna let this stream run and go ahead and see what does she need from me. So I'll be back in a quick second. Hello. Yes. Fine. Everybody, or whoever is watching, if anyone at all, meet Sprinkles. Sprinkles? Okay. Yeah, I just got her yesterday, so she's still scared, trying to figure out. Oh, whoa. Okay. It's okay. See, you are on the camera. You're on the camera. Okay. Okay. Might have to go leave her. Okay. So I got this box so that she can settle down and calmly sit down. If I can make her sit. Come on. What do you want? What do you want? What do you want? Okay. What do you want? What do you want? It's alright. It's okay. Okay, you don't like this. Alright. Okay. Okay. Alright, okay. I'm gonna go ahead and leave her back in her space. Oh. Okay. Wow, that was interesting. She kind of ran away. And I guess we are getting used to each other. I mean, like I said, this is day 2, so I'm trying to figure out her patterns. She's trying to figure out my patterns, and this is my second foster cat. So um, I'm kind of more uh, uh, confident about how to kind of like work with them, but she has been scared since yesterday. So it looks like at this point I have to be more patient with her. I mean, that's why I kind of like let her be in the bathroom, and the only reason I went there because she was kind of meowing. So the good thing is she has everything she needs there. So hopefully, over time, over the next few days, she will um, she will she will become more comfortable and open up. So I'm hoping for that. All right, so let's get back to Mrs. Bagley. But I kind of like that she was doing some research on aesthetics of color. She investigated the optical illusion of colors appearing to the viewer when a disc with black and white sectors is spun. Color is one of the fascinating things. Obviously I can see all the colors, so that I'm grateful that I'm not colorblind. Which would have limited what I could see. So that being said, when I go in different natural places, I guess the diversity of color, the sharpness, uh, the uh, the aliveness of color, if you know what I mean, could definitely brighten up the mood. And obviously, color plays such an important role in order to modify our mood, and also kind of create this perception, optical illusion about different spaces. That's why if you have like a smaller space, then you should pick more lighter colors so it feels like you have more space. If you end up picking like darker color to color your apartment or your room or whatever, then it might feel a bit smaller. So that's an optical illusion and how our brain kind of observe and perceive different things, I guess. So this is really fascinating, and she created this sectors. So this how do you call that? Fechner color, I guess. So Fechner color effect is an illusion of color seen when looking at certain rapidly changing or moving black and white patterns. They're also called pattern-induced flicker colors. Interesting. I'm hoping that there is some sort of GIF to kind of display what does exactly mean. But at the same time, we can always search. Let's see video. I mean, I'm kind of concerned if I should or if I can show someone else's YouTube video. But at the same time, I don't have any subscribers, so hell, I don't think it's gonna affect anything. My channel. Okay, I see. Yeah, this is I mean this is a very common phenomena. I'm not sure, like, if they discovered it, or regardless. I mean, I'm not sure, uh, how the scientists came up with this experiment or whatnot, because I bet we can see this or observe this pretty much all around the nature. So, uh, but the, so what does this does? Well, doesn't say anything, but other than just it give us the illusion. Uh, I know there was some Instagram artist. I mean, Instagram is. I'm just. Uh, I'm just saying Instagram because I saw their art form on Instagram, but they use similar techniques, like different uh, pieces of metal, or different unconnected pieces, and when they put it together and put it in motion, it feels like they are all part of like a same uh, thing, or same project, or same uh, model, I guess. It's hard to describe because, to be honest, it's been a while since I saw their art form, but it was fantastic from based on what I remember. So the phenomena originate from neural activity in retina, and spatial interactions in the primary visual cortex, which plays a role in encoding low-level image features such as edges and spatiotemporal frequency component. Research indicates that the blue-yellow opponent process accounts for all the different PIFs. Okay. What's PIF again? Pattern induced flickering color. Ah, okay. Color receptors in the human eye respond at different rates to green, blue, and red. Which is interesting. I'm not sure if our retina can only observe and absorb, like, blue, green, and red, and then create combinations in our mind. I don't know. I mean, this is how most of the electronic gadgets function. So we know that, like, basically the screen I'm looking at right now comprised of these three colors in the back end, and they sort of create all the other colors available. So yeah, being colorblind can change this. Been some verified reports of people with four or more types of cones, giving them tetrachromatic vision. Okay, what's happening here? All right. So cone cells are photoreceptor cells in the retina. Retina. How should I pronounce it? I think it's called retina. Retinat. Let's do.
Retina. Retina.
Retina. Okay. Yeah, they respond differently to light of different wavelengths, which is pretty obvious, and thus responsible for color vision. Isn't it interesting that we evolved and developed these different cells within our body, which can allow us to perceive the reality in a whole different way? I just realized that my mic is not even close to my mouth. So I'm not sure how much of the thing I said was properly recorded, but here I am. Okay. See, this is how noob I am. I'm not even like. I should do this more often, I guess, to get used to my entire setup and whatnot. But getting back here, let's see, color vision. Sensitivity to prolonged stimulation tend to decline over time, leading to neural adaptation. An interesting effect occurs when staring at a particular color for a minute or so. Such action leads to an exhaustion of the cone cell that respond to that color, resulting in afterimage. This vivid color after effect can last for a minute or more. So after image is an image that continues to appear in eyes after a period of exposure to the original image. Oh, okay, yeah. So there are a lot of illusions. There you go. Yeah, if you just keep your focus on one point, and then if you divert your focus from that photo to maybe like a wall and just blink your eyes, you can still see the colors and the image itself, and so they call that after image, which which is pretty pretty logical. An after image may be a normal phenomena or maybe pathological. Okay, illusory palinopsia may be a pathological exaggeration of psychological after images. After images occur because photochemical activity in retina continues even when the eyes are no longer experiencing the original stimulus. Just imagine how many people see different optical illusions, and then if they divert their focus from that illusion and still see after image, and that could change the way they perceive some of the things. For example, maybe like a ghost or something. When people are focused on maybe like an image on a old on a wall of an old building, and if they just take that focus away from that image, and surprisingly they see a ghost figure in their after image. So it it is an optical illusion. But what is the reason? What's the evolutionary reason to have something like this? If they even specify that. Let's see if there is evolution anywhere in that. Nope. So we don't know. Is it? There should be some reason why this is a phenomena. Reminder of the comments. Dim area that seems to float before one's eyes after briefly looking into a light source, such as a camera flash. Palinopsia is a common symptom of visual snow. Visual snow. Oh, visual snow. Okay. Oh, I remember a lot of visual snows. If I think what this is pointing to, then I believe this is. I've seen a lot of visual snow in sunlight. Interesting. I don't have any patience to kind of go through all of that, but yeah. So the magic of eye, like the eye is one of those senses. I mean, which we take for granted. To be honest, like we take pretty much all of our senses for granted, but the visual sense, the visual sense uses a lot of brain power. I believe it uses more brain power than any other senses. And on top of that, if I recall correctly, Andrew Huberman, who's like amazing, I think he's a neurobiologist. Neuroscientist, yeah. So I remember he mentioned in one of his podcasts that the eye is the only sense which connects directly with the brain, meaning it's sort of like an extension of brain rather than the other senses which pass the message using different carriers. But eyes are directly connected to the brain. Something on that line. I mean, I'm clearly not a neuroscientist to be able to describe that beautifully as he did. So check out his podcast. I mean, I strongly recommend all of his podcasts. Like some of the original, or I would say the first few podcasts were really, really great, intense too. Like, he had like an hour-long lectures where he go through various topics, or a specific topic, and tie it up with like different branches of science, and paint a beautiful picture of describing how our body functions. And once you have that basic foundation, then you would be able to maybe like hack into some of those systems, try to figure out what works for you, what doesn't, and how to optimize your personal goals, I guess. But yeah, this I really admire the work he's doing. So yeah, shout out to him. See, I want to go from one page to other page rather than going to another random article, but there is nothing which is catching my eye at the moment. What is this theory? Of color vision postulated that there were three types of photoreceptors in the eye, each sensitive to a particular range of visible light, short wavelength, okay, medium and long. Okay. All right. Gallery. The U.S. flag inverted. Well, technically it's a different topic, but it was connected to that page. The flag of the United States. This goes back quite a few years. So 1775. So which is what? Wait. How much is 1775, 1875, 1975? So that 200 years, right? And 75 to 25 would be 50. So 22. So 247 years. Is that right? No, 243 years, I guess. No, wait, 75. Yeah, so 248. 248. Yeah. And it consists of 13 equal horizontal stripes of red. I mean, I kind of sort of know some of the basics, inspiration of the flag. And I'm kind of curious, when was the last time the flag was modified? Obviously, it will have to be whenever they added the 50th state. But number of stripes, number of stars. Okay, yeah. Interestingly, they had like a cross and X, like the England flag instead of stars, and how it kind of like evolved over time. And what are these states represented by new stars? Okay. So yeah, these were the iteration of the flag, and 37, 38, 50 Hawaii, which was in 1960. So that's when the flag was last modified, 1960. But imagine how much pain it would take to kind of, change the flag everywhere. I mean, you look at this, 1912 to 1959, which is all right, great. But 1959 to 1960 and 1960, so they had to modify it within a year. Yeah, exactly. That's why it says 1 year. Wow. And what was the longest? 61 years for so far. Wow. So this is the longest since U.S. Have changed its flag. 61 years. And I personally think that the U.S. should add more states. I mean, obviously Puerto Rico is one of them, and there are so many other territories, or I'm not sure what the exact word is, or the political word is, but U.S. should add more states. And maybe I'm wrong, but so some of the states should be even split, I guess. I mean, or should be combined. Like someone was making a really good point, like Dakotas, like North and South Dakota, which are like two tiny states, and with like very less population. But the reason they are still kind of two states is because of the politics, like every state represent two senators. So if they combine both of those Dakotas, then the Dakota will lose, like, two senators as a whole. and both of them, I believe, are Republican states. So obviously, they would never merge those two states, because they'll lose power. It's all about power, when it comes down to nations, it's all about power, obviously. And, I mean, it's pretty obvious looking at the history. There is instructions for folding and storage, which makes sense. I'm I'm kind of split when it comes down to burning flags, because at one level it's a symbol, an emotional connection for a lot of people, and at the other level it's just a flag, just a symbol. So that's one of the reasons why I kind of like the First Amendment here, because people are free to do whatever they choose to do. So if someone want to burn a flag, they could. I mean, I don't think anyone should, unless yeah, well, I don't even want to go into that rabbit hole. But having that First Amendment give people right to kind of right to express whatever they think of the nation they are living in. And especially here in the United States, there is a lot of tension for plenty of reasons. I mean, there has been systematic, I would say, unfairness or systematic corruption, or the system is rigged basically. So it's rigged for a group of people, mostly minorities, and it's not only been rigged for a while, but it's been like abused over and over and over. And that's why we are in a place where everything is uncertain right now. And it's not just the state of the U.S. It's pretty much all across the world. And honestly, a lot of it is could be tied up to the media, to the social media, or just the media in general, because that media is the source of information for pretty much everyone now. So it's easy to kind of fall into an echo chamber, and the trick is to be able to control the echo chamber, I guess. I mean, to a certain degree, we all need our own echo chambers, as long as we know what are the boundaries, or if it didn't set right, then everyone should explore the other side of the conversation, argument, or however you want to phrase it. But just being trapped in a personal echo chamber could be hell, could be personal hell, or even if it could feel like personal heaven too. Like if someone is super delusional. I mean, if you look at, say, religious people, for example. I love to pick on religious people, but if you look at the religious people, then they are kind of trapped within their echo chamber, and even if you try to have a conversation with them, their lens, their perception of reality is filtered through their religion. And more than often, I would say pretty much all the time, religion is not even connected to the truth of the universe. Call that truth as a god or energy or universe. It doesn't really matter. The way I see it, I mean, I don't think there is any personal god, obviously, but I think there is a reality. It's real, in the sense I'm experiencing it as a real. It could very well be a simulation. This all could be a simulation, but I'm experiencing the reality in this moment. And it feels real. And when I interact with other things that feel real too, like interacting with this phone. It feels real. And that's what basically reality is. It, it is, it, well, if I take a step back, the universe is a gigantic space, right? Instead of being a universe, there could have been nothing, right? And to a certain degree, I believe that nothing and everything are like sort of like same thing, but just looked from a different angle, different side, if you will. But the point I was trying to make was that the universe is uh, the universe exists, and the universe exists, and you call you can we can have a debate about why it exists, how it exists, and go with all the questions around that. But the fact is, the universe exists, even if we are trapped in some sort of like a chamber, like in Matrix movie, or even if this all is simulation, the simulation exists in my mind, so it exists rather than not exist. And That being said, when people try to kind of put on some sort of projection on the reality, like a creator who created a universe, is that a possibility? Maybe. Could universe be the way it is without a creator? Maybe. So there is like when you have perfectly logical proof, I would say, of the reality existing on its own, then you don't need a god anymore. And I don't even want to go into the whole God thing at the moment. But coming back to the flags, uh, there are different flag. The flag of Bikini Atoll. Okay, okay, I see what. And wait, the Republic of United States of Brazil. What? Okay. What is this? The first Brazilian Republic, officially the Republic of the United States of Brazil, refers to period Brazilian history from 1889 to 1930. With the deposition of Emperor Pedro in 1889, and ended with the Brazilian Revolution of 1930. Okay, that seems pretty interesting. That installed this dude, which I don't know how to pronounce his name. Let's just call him GB, as a new president. During the first Brazilian Republic, Brazil was dominated by a form of machine politics known as colonialism, in which the political and economic sphere were dominated by large landholders. The most powerful of such landholders were the coffee industry and the dairy industry, of course. Because of the power of these two industries, the old republic's political system has been described as coffee with milk politics. That's funny. I'm sure it's pronounced a different way in Portuguese. Café com leite politics. Hopefully, I'm not butchering it, but so where is the flag? This is the flag. Well, does it have 13 too? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, this. I don't. Come on, Brazil. You could have done better. And obviously, you have done sort of better. I mean, I if it would be very, very painful to kind of like draw the flag, I guess. I mean, obviously the square, the rhombus, the circles. That's how I like it. You know, different geometric shapes. But what's up with all these stars and ordem progresso? Does it mean always progressing? Is that what that mean? Who knows? Let's see. Let's see. Okay. Okay. What 3 million Europeans immigrated to Brazil? Yada yada yada. The Vargas era. Okay. 1930 to 37. That's it. Wow. And from 37 till 46, there was Third Brazilian Republic. How many Brazilian republics were there? Hmm. So we were looking at the flags. Okay, motto. Order and progress. Order and progress. Interesting. Interesting. I mean, it is interesting because if you look at it, like at least in the U.S. politics, the people geared towards right are um, more fall in line. They kind of like fall in order, I guess. Um, and the people on the left are more progressive. So I'm not sure if that's a generic pattern in different countries. I can tell, like coming from like India, definitely the people on the right, especially the the religious people, right? So they have their order in the sense like the system, the caste system, and other hierarchy. And the people on the left, which hardly exist in India, the only party we have, I won't even say only party, we have ton of party, but the major party, the biggest party on the left are corrupted and not even worth discussing about, I guess. So, but it's interesting that order and progress is like the main motto of Brazil. And Empire of Brazil flag. So this was, I think this was like 1889, whenever, whenever the first revolution took over. But why do we have stars? 27 stars. Okay, with 23 stars. So again, I think it's more about the states. Okay, this is what I was looking for. The decree number 4 issued, whatever, construction. The precise position of the 27 in all stars on the globe make the Brazilian flag one of the most complicated national flags to construct. Exactly. The official design is defined by law number whatever, the flag's length is whatever. The blue circle in the middle around this has a radius of 3.5 modules. I don't know what that. If there is any connection to the other, dimensions of the other shape, or if it signifies something else. I think this image should have more details, but let's see. Caption. The stars are of 5 different sizes. I didn't observe that. 5 different sizes? Oh, now I see it. Interesting. They're drawn within circle. Mr. Paulo, I don't. Araujo. Paulo Araujo Duarte. Sorry, Paulo, if I mispronounce your name. Of the Federal University of Santa Catarina claims that the creator of our the stars in the sky at oh, okay. in the morning on 15th November 1889, the moment at which the constellation of the Southern Cross was on the meridian of Rio de Janeiro, and the longer arm was vertical. Another article citing. That's pretty meaningful. I mean, it's obviously pretty painful to kind of like draw it, I guess. But it kind of have a good deep meaning because every time if once I kind of like learn this, every time I'm gonna see, whenever I'm gonna see Brazil's flag, I will be reminded of the first revolution which happened in 1889. So I that it's kind of attain what it's supposed to do, right? I mean, flags are a symbol which kind of supposed to incite the deeper connection to the land, and having all of these symbolisms sort of kind of connect people to the principle or to the motivation behind forming the Brazil state after the revolution and taking off from whoever the king was at the time. So I like that. I'm a big fan of symbolism, but I'm also kind of like a dummy, so I don't get a lot of symbolism. I have to like sit and figure out what that symbolism actually signifies, and then it kind of make more sense to me, and then either it's beautiful or it's like meh. Brazilian flag is somewhere between meh and beautiful. I'm kidding. I'm sure it's a beautiful flag for Brazilian people. I don't know which one is the most beautiful flag. I mean, again, it's relative, but I think the simplest flag would be the most beautiful, because beauty lies in simplicity. There are a list of Brazilian flags. Different flag protocols and flag anthem. Similar to symbol like flag, even the song, the anthems are written down or recited to kind of like connect with the nation. Obviously, military and government flag. Rejected flags. Oh no, why were all of these rejected? This was in 1888. I mean, it's clearly copy or inspired by US's 13 colonies. I don't know where the red comes into picture. I mean, it's kind of have that communism vibe with the red and yellow stars, and then obviously that's the landmass of Brazil, which is huge. CIA. Wait, what? Huh. Okay. So where were we? Okay, which includes the southern. Let's go to Southern Cross. So Southern Cross is a constellation of the southern sky that is centered on four bright stars in a cross-shaped or kite-like asterism, commonly known as Southern Cross. Okay, I see. It lies on the southern end of the Milky Way's visible band. History. brightest stars in history of what? History of we figuring out or history of the stars? They are entirely visible. Okay, so yeah, it's just about how we discovered, not even discovered, well, it still is a discovery, I guess. Like if you're looking up and hey, there is a star, and that star looked like a plus or cross. Another early modern description clearly described Crux as a separate constellation is attributed to Andrea Corselli, an Italian navigator who, from 1515 to 1517, that's only for 2 years, sailed to China and the East Indies in an expedition sponsored by King Manuel I. Italian king, right? I mean, if Andrea, I think Andrea is Italian then. Oh, was King of Portugal. Wait, what? Let's see what's East Indies. The term used in historical narratives of the Age of Discovery. Oh. Okay, that'd be interesting. The Indies refer to various lands in the East or the Eastern Hemisphere, particularly the islands and coastal islands found in and around the Indian Ocean by Portuguese explorer. After the Cape Route, I guess, was discovered, as the name suggests, east of the Indian subcontinent, most particularly maritime Southeast Asia and the parts of East Asia. Okay, in the most strict sense, the Indies were used from European perspective, islands of Southeast Asia that today comprise Malaysia, Indonesia, and Philippines. Is it? Yeah, it is east of India. Yeah, I can see that. I mean, it's kind of weird, right? Like the name India, it's tied up with like so many other things. Obviously, the East Indies over here, the West Indies, which is the Caribbean island, and the most famous example, the Native Americans, known as Indians, and the funny thing is, India. I mean, the name India itself is sort of bastard version of the reason why India is called India, I guess. I mean, India is known as India because people, at least the Western and the European people, saw the river Indus and named it, like the land around Indus is India. But the river Indus itself was known as a different river, which I'm blanking at the moment. I think it used to be called Sindh. Let's see. I should know this. Indian subcontinent. India. Let's go there. It's the seventh largest country by area and second most populous country. Yeah, what can I say? We like to fuck. The most populous democracy in the country, in the world, sorry. Modern humans arrived on Indian subcontinent from Africa no later than 55,000 years ago. Their long occupation, initially in varying forms of isolation as hunter-gatherers, has made the region highly diverse, second only to Africa in human genetic diversity. Okay. Indus River. So, but what exactly was it known as to the people? I think we used to call Sindh, Sindhu River, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, I might have to wrap this up soon. I gotta go and see why is she crying or meowing? Yeah, her name is Sprinkles, and just hoping that she feel comfortable and get used to the environment. I mean, I can imagine it's super stressful to just just be like just taken to a different place where you didn't have much of a say. And on top of that, get be confined in a small bathroom. And I mean, I'll let the door open, but she's kind of like too small to kind of like leave the bathroom at the moment. And I. I'm sure like in next few days she gonna come around and she gonna open up. So yeah, just waiting for that and being patient. Well, with that note, I don't know how long I streamed, but what this is, I kind of like it. I mean, I think I'm gonna keep doing this because it's Wikipedia is amazing. Clearly, I mean, it's it's sort of like a library, right? But it's a compilation by different people, obviously. But at the same time, the intention is to create a library where people can just go in and go from topic to topic, learn about different things. And I hope that I'll continue to do this and learn about more things in the coming future. With that note, peace.